So Greig, we're gonna revamp round one just a little bit. So Greig is coaching you now. It's a year from now on your sales your financial coaching business. So we've set up a dynamic for you and Epic where like you're coaching other financial services providers on how you 19x think. Like
so Sean, I'm coaching other agents and advisors, correct?
Yes, for money.
Okay.
Like in a business.
So they're paying me. They're not necessarily working at Epic, but they're paying for my skill set.
That is correct. I thought we had. Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
Two,
Understood.
it becomes an awesome way for you to also potentially have franchisees.
Understood.
Know you, you're helping them. They're like, dude, I want to just like work with you. I don't want to pay you for your coaching. Like now I want to become a part, maybe buy a franchise, do a strategic ecosystem merger with Epic. So that's so what you're doing right now from Greig. So you've worked all this out in the first round. You've been building that business. It's going slower than you want. And Greig's like, I can help. And you're like, your vision and mission is to honor change. All the financial missions you have are still there. You're just leveraging it, coaching other people for money and expanding this mission for Rob Gill. And the why that Greig has uncovered is because you want to build that legacy because you grew up poor. You've helped your family, right? And like you saw the contrast of how you were raised. You don't want other people to go through it, and you want to expand this sucker. And like you're excited because you feel deeply connected to Greig. You're excited to hear what he can do to help you accelerate that by the brilliant work that he does. Greig, is that a fair setup?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, awesome. So ready? Are you ready, Rob?
I am. Yep.
Okay. So Greig, take it away, sir.
All right. So Rob, picking back up on where we left off, you were telling me about growing your coaching practice. Who would you say is your dream client, the person that you would love to coach? How would you describe them?
Great question. Thank you. So I think if you look in the space of financial planning and licenses and Series 7 and Series 65s and life, I think there's like 75,000. That was as of 2 years ago. There's 75,000 people that have those licenses. And I believe a good 80% of them probably, not because they're bad, but are probably below average producers just because they haven't been given the right tools to succeed. I look at the insurance industry specifically. They still train, they have a sales training model for their agents, which by the way has a 95% fail rate of stuff that was kind of working in the 1940s and 50s, right? They haven't been able to make the changes. So I would like to target somebody mid-tier, right? Because, if we could do that, I think we could scale faster, at least in my mind. And part of the coaching, I think a natural byproduct, because the art of living is given Tony Robbins style, and this is what really attracted me to Sean. I believe that no secrets, straight, given, fake confusion, just being real, being authentic, don't hide anything. If I could train people to really kind of understand the proper kind of integrity-based selling, but could do it globally, I believe that could also lead to a byproduct to have people come work with us as well, but without us asking.
Yeah, so it's that mid-tier, below average performing financial advisor, not the ones just starting out, not the ones that are killing it. Those are the people that are your dream clients and you'd love to work with. And what would they say is the number one problem you're solving for them when they come to you to coach them?
Initially, before they're educated, they would just say that they want more leads.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Because that's what they're conditioned to believe.
Got it. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. And so if I can get you on the phone with these mid-tier financial advisors that believe they want more leads, those would be conversations that you'd love to be having, right?
Well, I mean, yes, if they want to be coached, right? If they're looking to be coached. And I think once we take that step, would the process of really sharing them the truth that I know them to be on how they could really not just want new leads as if they're going to show up at the front door, but how to go get them and how to get them in a way where it doesn't create friction and it's frictionless, and their performance and their lead sales meetings would grow, at least based on what I did, through what I learned from 8 to 25 to 150.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So we've helped lots of people in finances, and how we do this is using my copywriting system on LinkedIn. It's called BPBS, Big Problem, Big Solution. And what gets people's attention is us messaging them, asking them, do you have this problem? So for example, we're going to reach out to financial advisors on LinkedIn on your behalf, and we're going to ask them, are you performing at below average because you have a lack of leads? And if they raise their hand and say they have that problem, that's what qualifies the lead that we'll be getting you on the phone with for you to offer your coaching services to. And that's what makes these leads qualified and different and better than most leads you get from LinkedIn, where it's just kind of an open-ended conversation. The people I'm bringing to you are the avatar you want, and they're coming to you with a specific problem. Does that make sense?
It does. I like the way that sounds. I do. And then maybe there would be more questions beyond that, I would assume, but as an opener, that makes total sense.
Yeah. And what's typically the biggest objection that you run into in these people? Is it that they can't afford your services yet, or what's kind of the biggest objection?
I haven't. So I guess they can't afford my services. You know what I mean? This is brand new, the coaching side. But I heard you were the guy to talk to.
Yeah, and so that's a big part of the people we're going to be bringing with you. They're going to have staff. We're going to be filtering this out, looking for people that already have staff under them. And that's one of our ways that we can tell their revenue size and make sure you're not wasting your time talking to people that can't afford coaching. So basically, I'm going to be bringing you people that are your exact avatar. They have the problem that you specialize in solving, and they won't have this objection that they can't afford it. Would you like to talk about how we could work together, us bringing you these leads?
Yeah, I would love to explore that. That sounds really cool.
Fantastic. Cool.
Very nice job, Greg.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. How did that fit for you, Greg?
Yeah, that's again, my style is a very diagnostic style. So I felt like I accomplished what I was looking to get to. The biggest thing we run into with LinkedIn is, yes, you're going to bring me leads, but are these going to be qualified leads? So that's one of the major selling points that I try to make in all of our presentations, because a lot of people don't want to waste time having conversations, just, open-ended conversations with people. So that's what I was looking to accomplish, and I felt like I did that. And I'm really appreciating all the feedback you're getting, because the building rapport stuff, the mirroring, those are things I once had a girlfriend come to an event with me and tell me, Greg, like, everybody seems to like you. You know why? Because you're completely oblivious to all their, all their manipulating, all their, trying to do this stuff back and forth. You just kind of are you, and you cut through the chase, and that works for you. And people either like it or they don't. But I recognize, as a salesperson, I need to kind of evolve more into the things you're teaching. And that's a lot of value that I'm getting out of being here today.
Yeah, Greg, can I thank you for that vulnerability and openness? And if I could share this, I don't think you need anything. I mean, I think you're tremendously successful. I know you didn't mean like need literally. I think an opportunity is, like, here's who I see you as, right? I see you as somebody, just for fun, let's just go with this one question. What business do you think you're in? Like, what is your business? Greg's business is?
Providing a consistent lead flow for coaches.
Yeah. So here's the business I think you're in. I think you're in the business of changing lives. In a capitalistic structure, one of the 3 greatest stress points is how people in small business, especially the business you're helping out, spend money, time, and energy sitting down with people to have a qualified conversation to share their magic with. So you change lives and are the best in the world at it, changing lives to create the efficiency of more money and less time with more magic by having far less money, time, and energy spent in generating sit downs with qualified people. That equals like time with children, like beach house, like scaling of business. So like, and this isn't just words, like I believe this from my heart. I am so impressed by you and what you do. And I do this every day. You can watch all the things. Like, I am so impressed by what you do because it's magic. It's critical. It's like indispensable. It's fundamental for people to get everything they want about a capitalistic structure. So just that aspirational dynamic as you connect with people and share who and what you are, I think I have no idea like what's happening in your business. I'm sure you're succeeding wildly. I think you stepping into and experiencing that you're really doing that for people. Mm-hmm. And like when I heard about you and what you did, I literally, that's like, wow, I was like so excited to talk because that just like resonates so deeply how effective you've been on LinkedIn. So I just want to share that with you.
Yeah, that's great. Share. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think, and you like it's almost like you're showing up in some way, which is totally like working in a ton of different ways, but it's like, yeah, just kind of like this, you know, dude, and I just like save your like business life and change everything for you. Like, yeah, like that's what I do for like, you know, coffee, like chilling. Like it's beautiful and super humble, but it almost I had the privilege of the last like 6 events for Tony Robbins world of speaking on stage there. The first time I did it, people were like, oh, hey, great job. And like really, really good things happened. And somebody came up to me and said, hey, how'd you think you did? And it's somebody that I had done coaching work with. And I said, yeah, I think things went well. He said, how do you really think you did? I said, I was hiding. He said, why'd you hide? I said, because I didn't know if it was my place. He said, why do you think it was like your place? Because I don't know. Like I didn't want to take up too much room. You know, I just wanted to like be there and I didn't know if it was my place. And he said, I offer you this gift. He said, I offer you the gift to not take up more space than you ever should, to never take up less space though than you should. Because when you're doing that, you're out of integrity with people because they don't know who you are. They don't know how deeply to listen to you. And they don't realize if they don't, how much they can miss everything they want. So just a thought, you do that with what you will. So thank you.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So Joshua, how are you?
Me on mute. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah. So I know we're a little behind. We'll try to get tight and get wrapped. Awesome. Thank you, both for being here and your patience. So Joshua, you ready for round 2?
Let's do it.
All right. Take us in.
Rob, what's up, brother? Man, it's great to jump back on the call with you again.
What's up, Josh? How you doing, man?
Hey, it's a beautiful day here in Austin. Man, you know what? I just want to take 2 seconds.
Hey,
out, man.
quick question.
Yeah,
quick question. Does everyone in Austin cut their hair like that?
If everyone cut their hair in Austin like this, then I wouldn't be special anymore, right?
Go ahead.
No, man, it's good. I'll be honest, man. I was excited to jump on the phone call. It was really awesome for you to kind of shine through and tell me about what your why was. I mean, it's because that's why we're all here, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I think most people miss out on is starting with their why, and that's your family. I mean, I've got the same thing. I reset my life to really make sure that why stood through. And being able to kind of help people where you've come from before. So appreciate you, man. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well, we talked about you, your family, all the kind of stuff like that, but I really want to make sure that I really value your time. What is the biggest thing that what kind of results are you looking for? I mean, you're talking about LinkedIn. I get that all the time, but what are you really looking for specifically to be able to achieve on that platform? And maybe what haven't you seen already, or what don't you like?
For me, I think I'm looking for a systematized, consistent, and when you gave me 2 choices, number 2 landed really well before. A systematized, consistent flow that is predictable in our space, so then I could scale that out and then double down in your space.
Nice. No, that makes sense. I mean, that's what a lot of people are looking for. We get the people all the time, they want to be able to scale and be able to grow. And that's why it took so much time in the first place to kind of really get to know you, because that's what's really important. A lot of what we do is we take on that persona of you, right? We're coming in and I've got to get to know you first. I mean, I've been blessed to be able to work with some of the guys that I read their books on how to start my company, like Dan Sullivan and Joe Polish and different guys like John Maxwell, to be able to take on their voice. So being able to really understand you and what you're looking to be able to do to be able to bring those clients, because what we're going to do is I'm going to help you be human online again. I mean, that's so important right now, more than ever. You know, we're COVID, right? I mean, everyone's online, and if I don't know if you're like me, man, but I hate cold calls and I hate cold emails. So I try never to do that. And I get a ton of spam on LinkedIn, and I never want to be that guy.
Yep.
Does it resonate with what you're?
Yeah, it does. There was a time in my life when I actually cold called on Wall Street, and I opened up 3,000 accounts from 1998 to 2002, 2003. And
Right.
that taught me that I've known, learned, and understood, and then preempt every no and default no as a result of that.
Right.
So I never want to go back to that again. What I do love is the idea of what I love about the Callagy results formula, right? Integrity-based human influence. And
Right.
if I could just keep it real simple, is the major deep dive into rapport build, right? And if we can mimic that on this, then we're good.
I love that, Rob. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you and I align a lot. I'm in the same scenario, right? I want to make sure I build that emotional connection first. I mean, people make decisions based on loving or hating something, not because they're indifferent. We see so many marketers talk at people. And one of the biggest things I've noticed, even pre-COVID, was there wasn't enough appreciation in this world for the small things. And that's kind of where we start on our process. When we're going with you, as I told you, man, I hate cold call, cold email. So it's all about engagement, appreciating people for the little things they do online. I mean, when's the last time that someone reached out to you and was like, hey, Rob, I saw you liked my Facebook post. I just want to reach out and say thank you.
Josh, great point. I do want to say one thing I don't like is the canned, like when you become friends with someone on LinkedIn, that somebody sends you a message that they clearly it's automated. I don't want that.
No, and that's the,
I'm not interested in that. Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing, man. It's we have all humans on our side, because I mean, we've got to be able to own you. I mean, this is why I've been allowed to be one of the few people that have ever been able to allow to be other people online that they would never allow anyone else, is because we're being able to do that. We're being able to first connect, right? It's the golden rules. It's the things that I do. It's the same things that my mom taught me and your mom taught you. It's, look, we start with appreciation. Appreciate people for looking at your profile, reaching out to connect. Hey, Rob, I saw you stop by to check out my profile. Man, I just want to take 2 seconds to say thank you, and maybe find out what pushed you to look me up, right? That's opportunity. We explore that for you. From there, or if they engage on your post, right? From there, we're able to kind of go in and then be able to go in and appreciate, and then we get compliment. So, we kind of go in and, give them a endorsement on LinkedIn. Once they respond there, we can ask a qualifying question. We kind of go through these paths where we have like 7 or 8 touch points before we ever talk about ourselves. Because, dude, I don't know if you're like me, but every time I connect with someone on LinkedIn, it's just, they're just throwing, hey, you want to buy my product? I mean, they pitch you 2 seconds later. Hey, Rob, I see you're wearing a red shirt. Me too. Let's connect. Dude, I don't want that. And that's why, we work with amazing clients like you to be able to kind of do that on one side, which is really engaging with people that engage with us. And then the other points, the social listening piece. I mean, if I asked you, why does everyone post online? What would you say? I don't care who you are. First and foremost, above all else.
First and foremost, what? I missed that.
Why I'll just, I know we only have limited time, but the reason why, like I asked you why everyone posts online.
I think because people want to tell their story, because people want to be heard, right? People want to be, people want to get a message out there, or their boss told them to do it if it's in a business context.
100%. And those are different ways to be able to kind of look, and there's so many people trying to tell stories. I kind of look at it as they want the hit of dopamine every time they get that engagement, right? So, that's even though no matter what you're doing, you want the hit of dopamine. That we all want it, even though we don't tell yourself that. So we have to become those dopamine dealers, and we become that on your part. We identify your ideal avatar, and then we kind of reach out and we start engaging on their post first, and then draw them into a conversation with you. Did I go over, Sean?
No, 1 minute. You got another minute, Josh.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm definitely into the conversation, just so you know.
Yeah, man, no worries. So, that's the whole piece, right? I mean, I want to engage I want to give them what they want first, right? I want to engage on their content, reach out, say, hey, Rob, I saw your recent post, man. I just want to take 2 seconds out and say, thank you for posting great content. We connect with them, right? Then we kind of go through that same engagement engine where we're endorsing them, we're giving them a compliment, they're responding back, we're asking them a question. Once
Can
they
I ask
answer
you-
that qualifying question, yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? So, like,
Please.
if I'm working with you, you do all that for me. Is that what you're saying?
100%, man. That's my team's taking on you because
Can you paint
your
that
time is
picture?
valuable.
Can you paint that picture for me, like 30
yeah,
seconds?
That's 30 seconds. Yep.
30 seconds. We're logging in, going in as you. You're telling us your ideal avatar. We're engaging with your audience. We're actually going in and qualifying. We're doing multiple touch points to
How
be
many
able to
hours?
draw them
How
into
many hours a
conversation.
day? How many hours a day you guys doing that?
My guys, for our clients, we're doing it 3 to 4 hours a day, going through for each one of our clients to be able to go through. We're reaching out to 100 people a day to engage with them on their content. We're engaging with the people that engage on your posts and drawing them into conversation, asking these qualifying questions so they can tell us where we're at. And then we can provide value based on how they answer the question.
Understood.
Even if they're not a client, we want to create advocates, right? So let's say they tell us they're not the right idea. We're going to,
Seconds, Josh.
Yeah.
we're going to give them value no matter what, man. So that's why we work with, that's why I love working with people like yourself that are family men, because it's all about adding value and smiling the entire time when we work and do what we do. Because if you can't smile and be happy and proud of what you do with your in front of your kids, you shouldn't be doing it.
And when you're doing this, you're leading to appointments.
Rob.
Yep.
We're time. So Josh, 10 seconds to wrap up.
Yeah, no worries. Rob, I mean, this is what we're is, man. I want to make sure I provide value, provide the leads that you're looking for, but not just leads, but engage connections that are going to bring value so you educate these people and draw them in, not sell them. So you don't have to keep on selling them once they become clients, man. So hopefully that's something, we can have a longer discussion about because it really is going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah. Josh,
Absolutely.
Great job. I think you did so well that Rob was like literally in a sales situation, is about to call you and be like, dude, what can we do? So like, it's like, all right, when the real, like this, like the real raw became like real sale. So that was a fantastic job, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So Brett, dropping in. What'd you see? What do you got?
All right. So giving feedback to both of them.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's start with Greg, who went first. All right. So great diagnostic, as the word that you used. Precision and efficiency. You're like a surgeon. That's terrific. You establish the need and the desire, and you convincingly explain how you can help him get that exact outcome, and you formed an agreement. So it was kind of a workshop on precision and efficiency. The big focus I noticed was on the outcome, and again, totally fine. And again, you're one of the best in the world at what you do. So it was really excellent. The opportunity is to connect more personally, emotionally. I didn't really see much of that. Again, you were focused on the outcome, you established the target, you hit the target, surgical efficiency. But I would like to see more of kind of, again, humanizing it a bit. So that's maybe that next level if you want to go there. Overall, a great job, really strong performance, 8.
Awesome. And for Josh?
So Josh, what I really appreciated is that you really paid attention to the personal and the emotional. There was even one point where you mentioned appreciating the small things. We need to appreciate the small things in the world. And that tied back to one of the first things Rob said, that he was appreciating his time with his family that he had been overlooking. And it was excellent. And so you really connected the personal and you unpacked that. I felt like there was a lot more emotional kind of trust and rapport than in contrasting to Greg's approach, which is very effective and efficient and got the job done, but maybe in a different way. So I thought that was really strong. I was a little concerned toward the end because I wasn't hearing you get the agreement, for the next meeting. And I'm like, man, he's not going to miss this, is he? So I felt like you kind of got it. It wasn't as explicit as I would have liked to have seen.
Fair enough.
But I think there was an implied, we're going to continue the conversation, but that would be the improvement, would be to really, really nail that down. So you can see the value. I thought Greg's close was actually better than yours, Josh. You can see the value. And so, are you looking forward to talking? And the The bar that Sean sets is really high. He said on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is they can't wait to talk to you again, and their life is like incomplete until they can get you on the phone again. And so, you know, it's like, I think that does require that. So overall, really strong performance, 9.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. And Brett, by the way, thank you so much for today. And if somebody said, hey, like, what was the judging thing like? And should I go on that thing? What would you say?
Well, for me, it's fine. I'm comfortable giving feedback and listening. And so I think it's great. My area is leadership, not sales, but there's a lot of similarities clearly. But I would say that you, Sean, create a very safe space. The participants show so much courage and humility and openness and eagerness to feedback that, yeah, I think it's terrific. It's a beautiful group of people learning and growing together in like this spirit of connection. So I would say it's really lovely, and I highly recommend it. Yeah.
Oh, right. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Vance, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. Thank you. This has been great.
Cool. And so what do you got?
For Greig, I think the second round actually called for more of a prescriptive approach. And I think that Greig did a great job with that. I mean, even to the point of where he got Rob to say, I like the way that sounds. And, you know, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, Greig, pounce on that, you know, go run with that. And then I was very happy that he got, you know, within the time frame, got his call to action in. You know, all right, what are we doing next? You know, would you like? And I think that's a great segue into your call to action. The only, honestly, I think a lot better. One technical tidbit for you is that it looks like your camera is not where you're looking. And so if you're doing a lot of these consultations via Zoom these days, being able to look directly into the camera when you're having that conversation, I think is going to help you quite a bit. You're probably focusing on your screen, which is where, you know, we are right now. So to you, it looks like you got eye-to-eye contact. To us, it looks like you're looking somewhere else. But I think overall, very solid. Definitely an 8. Joshua, I think great job with validating everything that Rob was saying. So great job mirroring. Really liked the comment, and I think this is where you hooked Rob, was with your questions about why do people post online. And that dopamine hit. I think that is, I think that was the turning point where Rob really got into the conversation with you. So great job there. The critical feedback, I think, was, you know, Sean gave you a few extra seconds or an extra minute. You took the minute, and then he gave you another 30 seconds. And I think he was hoping that you would have gotten to some sort of question to continue the conversation. And I think he gave even another 15 seconds. So get that close in there a little bit quicker. I mean, I know this is.
I didn't realize I was over time. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, but I think your approach to engaging Rob was fantastic. Good job. Solid 8.
Awesome. And again, how is this experience as on the Real Raw for you, Vance?
I think it's fantastic watching, you know, two very different people essentially selling similar services approach it very differently. I think you know, being able to be a part of that's fantastic. Great job.
Well, awesome. Thank you, brother. Allison, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. This is such a great opportunity because I've been so focused on LinkedIn, and at one point I'm in the process of getting people to help me out with the LinkedIn. So I've actually learned an awful lot, is the first thing I'd like to say. So Greig, I felt that you really impressed me with this. I felt as if I'm a business owner and I'd had that meeting with you, what I liked was you were very logical, you were very clear, and you listened. And, you know, I like the whole big problem, big solution. I like that. And I thought that it was about knowing your avatar. So you both talked about that, but you talked about knowing your avatar. And then what I loved is I can't be bothered wooing all these people when they're not going to be able to afford me. They're not going to be like, I mean, let's be specific. So what I really, really liked was, you know, we're going to make sure we've got tools. We're going to make sure that these are qualified leads. I thought that it was really, really impressive. Frankly, you know, you had me sold. So I think that one thing, you know, I was asked to, I felt that I was looking at different criteria on this, but I still feel that what is really incredible about this process is that we've got two brilliant people here with such opposite approaches. And I feel that you both could just do with a sprinkle of the other. You know, so that's the way you could go. So I thought it was outstanding job, Greig. So I gave you a 9 because I was, well, in fact, I nearly gave you a 10 because I was like, you know, I'm going to hire him. You know, I really got.
Yeah, and for Josh, Allison, that's beautiful feedback.
So, oh my gosh, Josh, like, I mean, who wouldn't love dealing with you? You talk about being human. You use the words like engaging. You really, you know, I'm going to help you be human online. It's like, here we are in this world of online and this, you know, artificial intelligence. And finally, we've got a human being. And you spoke to me. I absolutely loved your connection. I loved your authenticity, your integrity. I felt that really, really spoke. And I felt that he kept having to ask what you could do for him. For me, I kind of want results. I kind of want to know. And I would be swept away in the moment of the emotion of talking to you. However, when it came down to it, at this point, I wasn't sure that I would go forward anymore, apart from the fact that I'd love to interact with you, because I didn't really understand. You kind of used more generic, you know, adding value, and you talked about the avatar, but you didn't, I feel, you know, establish one distinguishing factor about that avatar. And I know that was a short, you know, you didn't have very much time, but I would have liked further exploration into the real, you know, who the avatar is and more detail. So, you know, I struggled with this one because I absolutely loved you, but I gave you a 7 in the end because for me, you didn't really show me what you could do for me as a business.
Fair enough.
All right. Hey, so awesome job, Greig. Josh, just drop in for a second and we'll be wrapping this up. So, Rob, let's just play with something as though I'm Josh for 1 second. So, Lynn, right? So Rob, what I'm hearing you say is that family is incredibly important to you. You want to have this incredible legacy based on the background, the humble beginnings that you had, and you're just like this blue collar kind of guy that's truly made a massive impact, and you want to impact other lives that work for you, people in the world. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yes, I can work in the streets and the suites.
Yes. I am not confused, brother. I am not confused. So with that said, what I'm also hearing is that you love structured mechanisms to get highly qualified folks that you could work with and connect with. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. So
and scale with.
That's, I'm sorry?
And scale, like, in other words, we could bring on folks that we could scale that. Like, not just me work with. Yep.
Absolutely. So can I share a little bit about myself?
Please.
Yeah. So again, my name is Josh, and what I do is I work with some of the most remarkable people in the world. People like John Maxwell. And what we do for these people who, Dan Sullivan, you know him, the strategic coach?
Yeah, I've heard of Dan Sullivan, absolutely. Yep.
So these people have trusted my company with the ability to generate relationships online through LinkedIn in a scalable model that they don't have to touch. And if that really works, would that be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what I'd love to do is have a longer conversation with you to explain all of these dynamics and how it works, because I get it. You want to be with your family and you want to have massive impact. And if we can create a generation model similar to what you have that you mentioned on YouTube that generates an endless flow of qualified people for you, ever expanding the more that we invest and work together. Let's like try first, demonstrate, then scale. Would that be something like, actually be interested in? Does that almost sound too good to be true and like mind blowing?
Well, Josh, if I may, and yes, it doesn't sound too good to be true because I've seen it, but I've only seen it as a compliment to somebody. I like to create my own. And it sounds like what you're talking about is I could create my own.
Yeah, you can create and have and control your own.
Yes, and I don't have that right now, and I would love to.
Awesome. All right, Josh, is that who you are?
That's it. Sean, I got to dust off the salesman in me. I haven't sold, I guess, in a while. I'm just educating and inspiring people too much, but I love that, man.
But brother, so listen, let's distinguish. All sales is educating people in truth.
That's
like
right.
That is who you are, right?
That's
So
right.
it's sales. I'm like, hey, Josh, you know what, brother? Yeah, there's some like swampland, and I think you should buy it because like 72 years from now, they might build another Disney World on it. Like that's sales, right?
100%.
Yeah. What you're doing, like we're revealing truth here for you. You're extraordinary. So hopefully that lands because I'm so impressed by you. Yeah, thank you, brother. So, hey, what would you say to people that said, hey, should I, David call me or somebody else called me and said, hey, would you be a participant on The Real Raw? What would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them that David did call me and asked me to be, and I said, hell yes. And I would say it again. So this has been really awesome. And I mean, I appreciate everyone on here. The feedback's been amazing.
And I thank you. I know it went a little long. I really appreciate it. And we're going to get that tightened up on time as much as we can. But we want to give everybody a chance to share, connect, and have some great things happen here. And Greig, how about yourself? Thank you so much for being here. And as we close, any things you want to share and how was the experience?
Yeah, this was a lot of valuable feedback, a great experience getting to do a role play like this, getting high level feedback. It's been great. I'm glad to have participated.
Yeah.
Sean, can I share something for Greig, if that's okay?
In 7 seconds, got to wrap up.
Yeah. Yep. Greig, I really felt like you have something blockbuster for me. And I just think that, and it was short time, but I think that rapport build would be just take you to a whole nother level. Because I really believe you have something that I want.
Yeah. Awesome. Greig, Josh, Rob Gill, Vivian, Fernando, thank you so much. Allison, Brett, and Vance for another day at The Real Raw. It is Memorial Day weekend in New Jersey. This is when the summer kicks off. Have a blessed, beautiful, and incredible weekend. And thank you to all the veterans out there that are with us today and are gone for everything you did to protect our freedom. Have a beautiful day.